You apologize for, you said you're sorry for what? I want to get
I
into
was
it.
messed up. I couldn't even figure out where I was. Tell you the truth. No pun intended.
So normally you don't tell me the truth. All right, well.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so, messed up meaning what? Messed up meaning,
Messed up meaning that when God touches me and, with his big thumb or his pointer finger, it messes me up. Since his presence, I lost every place where I was. I didn't know what part of the service we were in.
well, but what I hear you saying is your heart is in this.
Oh, my
Your heart is in these words, these songs, the concepts of these songs. You're engaging your heart in them.
Absolutely.
And how can that not mess you up? I mean, if
Haven't figured that one out yet.
if we believe that there is a God, like we're talking about,
You're all up
and here's this last song. We are the broken, you're the healer. Jesus, Redeemer, Mighty. You are the love song that we'll sing forever. If you believe that. But there's going to be a time and a place when we're going to be before Him, singing forever, bowing before you, blessing your name. I mean, and there's a moment when you were, I'm just trying to suppose, you're there. You're there before Him when you're doing this. Your mind it's like you're translating that moment. And when you're in that moment, all time stops. There's a tremendous peace in that moment. All the burdens of life are lifted as you go there.
That's it.
Is that right?
That's correct.
And that's what happens when your heart is in this. Worship is no good if you do it from the neck up. So that means you're getting honest with who you really are with God in these songs.
Right.
And then it breaks you open.
Yeah.
Don't apologize for that.
I will work on that.
Well, I don't want you to apologize for that, but I think what I hear you saying is that I have a task here to try to lead, and I have to throw that to the side when this happens.
Yep.
But let's just talk about that a little bit. When you're like that, you are leading.
Okay.
Because what it's leading is that that's a good place to be. That's what we all need to go to that place, don't we? Or maybe the question is, how come I'm not in that place? Well, she's just emotional. Why am I not in that place? Just revert back to your past. Have you ever been in that place where your heart's been engaged? Have you ever been there where you've been really broken and in that place before God? What would it take to go there again? What's in the way?
And I haven't always been here. I haven't always been at this place.
No. But that's good leadership. As I say to the worship team at times, the best leadership you can get on the worship team is to worship. Just you worship. Now, what might be hard about that sometimes, you've got to think about notes. You've got to think about when you come in. You've got to think about when you leave off your note. You've got to think about rhythms. You've got to think, oh, we're not playing here, or we're picking it up here, or we're doing this here, or we're doing that there. You've got to think about a lot of details. And when you're thinking about a lot of details, it's hard to gauge your heart sometimes unless you really know these songs very well. Well, there's a lot of different new songs today. Well, you might not know them very well, but then it becomes difficult. But because things have to get out of the way in order for us to engage our heart. And a lot of us have things in our head, things in our heart, unresolved things. We haven't talked to God for maybe all week and really engaged our heart in certain ways all week, and then all of a sudden we're supposed to do it right now in this moment. You can't do that. It's not going to happen, is it? Okay, as a worship leader, how do I instruct you? I said through the week you connect with God, so when it comes time to hear, it's going to be, you're already there.
Right.
I mean, you just can't all of a sudden, well, I'm just going to connect now. You know, that doesn't work. You know, that will never work. Right?
Yeah, and you get a little antsy as the week goes by. I mean, it's like Saturday, and I told Benita and Glenda, I said, I don't have anything yet. You know, I don't have anything yet. Pray. I brought them on board. I said, pray.
I've experienced that as a pastor. It's Saturday. It's 7 o'clock at night. I don't even know what I'm going to be talking about. Yeah, then you get a little more desperate in your prayers, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when you have to show Christ, if everybody would feel the pressure of having to show Christ, you go before God. But if we'd feel that pressure in our homes that we have to show Christ, you have to show Christ up here today, right? I mean, that's sort of the requirement of leadership. So you get a little desperate. You cry out. God's saying, well, that's what I want you to do. You can't go by last week.
That's right.
You know, sometimes, you know, let's say we had a great experience on a Sunday morning. So this is lock that in and do the same next week. It don't happen. You can't do what you did last week. The only reason why last week happened the way it was is because we did whatever preparation before that, and it was more spontaneous. You can't lock in spontaneity. How do you do that? I don't know how to do that. No, what you got to do is you got to seek God, just like you're doing. You got to do the same thing again, like you've never done it before. That's how you continue to go with God. I don't know how, you know. Am I saying this all right?
Mm-hmm. Saying it real well.
But that's what it takes. And the same thing with us here in our own personal lives, in our home. How's come, the spark isn't, we used to serve God in our house, or we used to pray, or we used to do this, or what? Why? Just go,
Start again.
Get humble again, get a little desperate again.
That's right.
There's something great about that desperation. You're on the edge. And then it causes humility. It causes humility. Or sometimes on the edge, pride will rise up and say, we're going to just push through this. We had a moment in our cell. I have things in our cell, and here I am. I do a Tuesday night cell. I prepared for that. I go to Wednesday. Thank you. Anything else you want?
Yeah, just one thing. I have learned one thing with the Lord, that He seems to talk to me most in the bakery, at home, it's in the bathroom. Wherever it is. I mean, this morning it was in the bathroom. I'll go in the bathroom here, and it's like He'll give me, it's just, I think I need to hold up residence in a tiny house called the bathroom. Just saying.
Actually, you're going to the bathroom now.
I'll go get a drink of water.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought she was going. I got to go see God, man. And she went to the bathroom. She's messed up. She didn't know what she's doing. Okay.
But here we are at cell. I mean, on Tuesday I have a normal cell that I've been doing for a while. And then on Wednesday I have a similar lesson, but people are coming in, man. I said, this lesson won't work. It's not going to happen. I could, and we can all do this in life. We can power through what I could have powered it through if I wanted to. But that's not what the moment called for. It wasn't what the moment called for. And I tried to do my best. As in our walk with God, we have to have big ears. On the one hand, to hear God, and on the other hand, to hear where people are. Because the big deal about following God is connecting people with God. There's even an occasion where Jesus said to his disciples, I have much more to say to you, much more than you can now bear. Jesus had it in his head, there's stuff I'd like to pour into you. But you know what? You're not ready for it. There's a sense of timing. There's a sense of the moment. And I don't know, do we live in that moment? Unless we live in the moment that we're in, what do my coworkers really need? What does my family really need? Am I really hearing God? I can shove my agenda down. It's just not going to work. What's really needed here? So we're in this series on the 9th commandment, which is, someone?
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
Do not bear false witness against your neighbor. Telling the truth. It's tougher than on the surface it may seem. How many of us in this room hold the full measure of truth?
You want us to lie?
But when we are on our soapbox, we feel we have that full measure. Or at least a fuller measure than the other people in that room. The problem with that is that we all have some of it, but none of us have all of it. All you got to do is sit down with a married couple. Benita said before, there's two sides to every pancake. There's two sides to every marriage. There's two sides to every story. There's our side. There's other people's sides. And then how does God really see it? I mean, there's multiple ways of seeing things. It's not as simple. My wish, I wish that you would tell me the truth. Is that what you wish from your neighbor? Is that what you wish at home? You really want people to tell you the truth, Cap? Can we take the truth? Depending on what it is. I want to hear the truth as I see it.
And we want to hear it in increments. I mean, if you slam us with umpteen things we're doing wrong, we can't really digest it. Right.
Do we really want that in our relationships? Do we want to speak the truth, hear the truth, and realize that none of us quite has it all? Do we really want that? What's it going to take to plow through into true relationships? What's it going to take? It's going to take work.
Yes.
Are we that committed? You know as well as I do, speaking the truth in love. Speaking the truth. That thing only really works well when everybody involved really wants it and are committed to the end of it. Because we're not talking about message deliveries.
Right.
Some people want to give me a message. Just give me a message delivery. That's not good. How do you know when you're heard? How do you actually know when you're heard? What? Wait a minute, what? Talk to me.
When you're heard.
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 I'm sorry, I thought.
How do you know when you're heard?
You weren't heard.
What now? I wasn't heard.
Obviously
I'm
not.
not sure about that when you're angry.
When you're hurt.
Yeah, there's another, there's
I didn't
a
hear you.
story you're out of here.
That's a little twisted.
You're married to her, right? You know, it's,
Obviously, I didn't hear you.
I wasn't heard well. But you know, that's a great example, though. How do you know when you're heard? Well, you
When you're heard.
you communicated,
Yep,
and then she didn't hear me.
right.
I thought you said heard too, actually.
Okay, and that's fine. How do you know when you're heard? When there's communication, there has to be communication. You don't know if you're heard, if people are really hearing you. If you get message deliveries, that doesn't mean anything. You know that as well as I do. So different times. Do I ever do this, Aaron? We have a conversation, then I say, what do you think about that?
Yes.
How many ever heard me say, what do you think about that?
Yes.
Come in on my level. Why do I do that?
So you know we understand what you're saying, right?
So we process it. You actually, it's not just about you understanding, but that's a part of it, yes. It's
Thank you.
maybe you have another idea in there that I have never thought about. Maybe you have another angle so that we can both explore and get to know what's right. It helps the process. It brings us into a conversation. We have to bring each other into conversations. Yes.
You're giving people a voice that might have not had a voice.
Absolutely.
That's what you've done for me, so that's why.
Yeah, there's multiple reasons why I
Yeah.
said, what do you think? And so I ask this to different people, and they say, well, let's say at work, I ask, well, what do you think? Well, they don't pay me to think around here.
Oh.
I'm serious. And you know what? If I were a leader in that company, I would say we have a problem. We have a problem in the company. I'm not going to lay it on the worker.
That's right.
But the worker feels shut down. The worker feels they have no voice. Their heart isn't in this thing. It says a lot.
You're just a warm body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't pay me to
Right.
think around here, and when I do, I said, and you know why it bothers you is because you care. That's what I tell them. It bothers you because you care. But some of us, see the problem with, I wish that you would tell me the truth. Can we actually be authentic in our relationships? Can you really be yourself? Now, when you say, I can really be myself, that doesn't mean you can just be your selfish self and do anything you want to. That's not living truly, is it?
No.
So what does it really mean to be yourself? But you got to be authentic in our relationships. I wish that you would tell me the truth. Do you wish that? People would tell you the truth? What's it going to mean if we would strip the veneer off? Okay, we're going to enter into, from here on out, real relationships with one another. Yes.
I just think of Pilate's question, what is truth? Because Jesus told him the truth, but he what is truth? because truth depends on who it's coming from. What truth is. If it's coming from the emperor, it better be doggone what you do. That's the truth. You don't need to know anything else, even if it's not the truth. Truth has vagueness in it. Because, like you said, it means differently to different people in the circumstances you're in, even when you're communicating.
But you know what that would cause us to do if we would go to this place? We're going to have to go to real conversations and have deep conversations with
Right.
each other. That's what it will mean. It will mean we have to take time. Do we really want to take that amount of time?
You have to trust in order to do that. You
It-
have to not be afraid. Well, you can be somewhat fearful, but I mean, you need to be.
We
able
have to have that
trust.
desire more than the fear. Right.
Well, and it's the love that casts out the fear. We want truth spoken in love. We don't just want truth.
Right.
You know, the truth,
That's
the whole
exactly right.
truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the court of law. That's not God's law. Speaking the truth in love will grow up in Him.
Correct.
Amen.
This by itself is very tough. We could just reword it. I wish that you would just love me.
That's not a good one either.
No.
But it's both of those. I
Right.
wish that you would just love me, period, and tell me the truth. Both.
Right.
It's within those arms that we're safe, that we can hear and grow, right? Over time. Truth plus love plus time equals growth,
Right.
right? Truth plus love plus time equals growth. And then what do we do sometimes in our relationships? We're trying to speak the truth in love, and so people aren't hearing it, so we put that, we lessen the truth and let the love remain. That's no good. No. If people are not hearing it, we just don't lessen the truth, just up the love.
Right.
You never lessen the truth. Or we're being loving and truthful and just say, well, since they're not hearing, I'm going to put love out of it and start yelling. No. Up the love a little more. And if you're good, truth is truth. I'm not sure how you up truth. Getting angry is not up the truth. That's just saying
Right.
you got an attitude. Got an attitude. Up the love. Don't lessen either. How do you, let's look at this. So in Solo this past week, we looked at this particular passage here. It's in Romans, and this is the NIV here. Live in harmony with one another. It's a nice thought, isn't it? It is. It's a great.
thought.
How do you do that?
Get a tune-up.
When we sing and we harmonize well, it sounds great. It makes a song so much more, it's just like overwhelmed. Even when you're part of one singing, your part accents all the other parts if you're in harmony. If you don't sing enough, right, you know, there's a lot of room in harmony.
But you know what? Some people don't. If you don't sing in harmony and you sing, what do you sing? You sing the melody. If there's too many people in the home that are vying for the melody, it doesn't work. How many understand?
Yeah.
Live in harmony means you're going to let other people take the lead sometimes, and you're going to go around
If
them.
you're harmonized, you
Right.
really-
You're going to go. You're not competing. I think sometimes we compete in the house.
That's right.
I think it's Bill McCartney says we're not here to compete with one another. We're here to complete one another.
Amen.
We're not here to compete.
We're here to complete. There are some of us that do very well at cooking. Doesn't have to be me in the house. I have my name on the schedule to clean dishes. So does Echon. So do the other people. Everybody else in that. Benita doesn't have to do that as much.
Well, she's putting away all the
She
leftovers.
still does at times because we may not be up to the level that she would like us to. But we do. We all are on that. Her job is to cook. Our job is to clean. This is harmonizing. It's harmony. That
Leftovers, call me over.
All right, we'll do that, brother. Okay.
Call me over, man.
And you'll say, "Nah, I don't want that." That was pretty good. Yeah, if you never have the first time, how many know? If you have it the first time, it's great. If you have the second, it can be good. Third time, getting hold of it. But if you never even have the first time, it's like fresh for the first time. Anyway, so we'll give you a raise. It ain't fresh for us. Might be fresh for Keith. This could work. That's harmonizing. Okay, but living in harmony, not in competing with one another, but going around each other to say, how can we support one another? Right?
That's right.
Then all of a sudden, because one of the songs I was saying, I need louder harmony. You heard me today, Glenda, in practice.
Yep.
I said, we got to go for it. I want you to go for it because it makes it. It made some of those. Live in harmony. Do not be proud. To your neighbor, say, don't be proud. Do not. Now, if you go through this passage in Romans, there are so many directives in this passage. It says, live in harmony. Do not be proud. These aren't suggestions in your relationships. These are truisms, right? These are true. These are just, well, that's a nice thought, God, but do not be proud. When you bring pride in the relationship, what happens? I'm right?
I gets in the way.
Yeah. It's good. But be willing to associate with people of low position. Humble yourself. Some people do have the eye on the one that struggles. But when we're proud, it's very difficult. Do not be conceited. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. How many here have a hard time with the retaliation truth? We want to pay back. Someone did something to us. We want to pay it. We want to return the favor in Jesus' name. We want to pay it back. No retaliation. Now, let's look at this passage. This is Irene's favorite. Now, I went to the bakery this last week, and she was whooped. She looked tired. I don't know what you did that day. You could probably delineate on all the stuff you did, but you were dragging. I don't know. I think maybe it was around 2:15. At the end of the day, you've already put all your. This is not a good word. This is not a great sentence here. We'll get to it. If you're tired. If you're tired, this will not work. If you are spent, if you're burned out, if you don't have much to give, if you don't have any emotional, spiritual reserves, this is hard. Let's read it together. Start with B. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone. Hello. What does that mean? Be careful to do, if you are depleted,
If you don't have any reserves, you'll just say, screw everybody, I'll just be by myself. And some of you may be at that spot today. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone. Well, I just won't be around people, then it'll be fine. When I can obey in that passage, that is not what it's saying. What is this? What is that? Is that in the Bible? That can't be in the Bible, is it? Yes, it's in the Bible, friends.
Does the next sentence say the same thing again, just differently?
Somewhat. I want to stress to be careful. And what does be careful to do what's right in the eyes of everyone mean?
Someone always sees what you're doing.
Don't
I see
offend.
that true. You never know who's watching.
That's true.
Don't
Some-
offend.
We need to talk on the level where people are at. We need to make adjustments. A little child, you can't speak certain truths to a little child. It's inappropriate for them, and they don't have the wherewithal to follow them. I need to do what's right for them. I need to be careful to do what's right in their eyes, at their level that they can handle. So that means I need to be aware where people are. Because sometimes I go in the bakery different times, and I just sort of just give Irene a little something to think about. Do I do this?
Yes,
Okay.
on a regular basis.
And so what happens when I go about doing this, what I'm trying to do is, so we have an ongoing conversation. And with different ones of you, I have an ongoing conversation. But it only works if you really want it. If you don't really want it, well, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to press it. But I know that you really want to grow.